Hello, everyone. Welcome to MallTalk. We have a special, beautiful, handsome.
We got a wheel.
Yeah, no, I wasn't talking about Lalit.
It's a
Um,
wheel.
Why is there a wheel?
You're
You'll
not-
see. You'll see. Not exactly. Hunter, explain this.
so we're talking about gachas today, and what's the ultimate form of gacha? What have you experienced tons of times before? A gumball machine. So we're gonna go over what type of gumball you like to get from a gumball machine, and then see if you can get it.
So we have red, blue, yellow, green, purple, pink, orange, white, dark blue, rainbow, and brown.
I would like to go for red, please.
You want to go for
That's a good
red?
choice. That's a strong choice. And if you
Let's
don't
see
get it,
if he
that's-
gets it. And if you don't get it,
Have you heard of a guillotine?
yeah, you get the guillotine. Oh, looks like you're gonna die. Oh,
Goodbye.
that must
I need to
suck.
go die now,
He's
so-
gonna die. He's gonna die. He's our guest for today, and he's dead.
I'll go next. I'll go next.
All right, Camilla, what color are you going for?
I generally like purple. I like purple
Alright.
candies.
We're going purple. Spin. Is she gonna get purple? Ooh, so close. You could trick like a stupid person into thinking that's purple, but looks like you're gonna die. I guess I will go now. I am also gonna go for purple.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
another
but one out of
purple
11
candy
hit.
enjoyer.
Ooh, am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? Do we not have a host for this podcast anymore? Ooh.
Oh, okay, but lemon's pretty good. Lemon's pretty good.
Lemon's pretty good. Hunter, now you have to go. So what color do you
Red.
choose? Hunter, you're not
Red.
even looking at the camera. What the fuck are you doing?
You'll see.
This was your idea for you're
Oh, it sure
blowing
was.
off your own idea.
Fucking
But
dumbass.
yeah, red,
Red, look at the look at the camera.
red.
All right, let's see. Is he gonna get red?
We have a 1 out of 11.
Oh, looks like we're all gonna die. And that's pretty much it. Welcome to MallTalk. We don't do that here.
No, editor me specifically.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna. This is where I take the entire Premiere profile. I send it to Lalit. Lalit edits the rest of this.
Yeah, okay. I will just do that and send it back to you.
You know what?
don't
We didn't.
everything-
We should probably introduce. This is our friend Lalit. I'm
Oh, yeah,
your
kinda
host,
forgot
Kush.
about that part.
These are my two beautiful co-hosts, Hunter and Camilla, and this is our very awesome, very cool, killed 6 people, murderer in freshman year of high school friend Lalit. Also,
I
featured
made us a
in
guillotine.
2 video. He made us a guillotine. That's what he was doing the whole time. So we're gonna go under that guillotine when we're done recording. But for now,
And
we're
I'll take
talking
one-
about gotcha games with our good friend Lalit. So how about you go on and introduce yourself, Lalit?
Hello,
Yeah.
my name is Lalit. By the end of this episode, I'll kill one of them and become the new host.
I like that idea.
So,
All right. Let's
Yeah.
hope you get let's hope we stay diverse here. Let's hope we
Alright,
stay
Chris, you should
diverse
put
with
up
our
a-
cast.
You should switch your screen to a picture of whatever you think is the most iconic gambling game of all time.
Oh, I got
I
this.
call it Russian roulette.
I call it a casino.
Well,
I call it
Boom.
poker.
there we go. That's great.
Boom. Hell yeah. Boom. That's the only reason I'm wearing this, because this is the only gotcha game I'm familiar with.
$66 for Charizard. Actually,
Oh, actually, technically, I did participate in a gacha earlier this week. I got a little Naruto like packet of like where you you
Yeah,
buy
Gacha
like
Gara.
a figure. Yeah, I got Chigara. I got Chigara.
How many did he
He's
get?
a Jinchuriki. He has a dog
Was.
inside of him. He got that dog. He did have that dog in him. He no longer has that dog in him. He's
But,
It's a
just
but like,
sand
hear me out.
dog.
What if he
He's ju-
was the dog?
he's really sad. What if he
What?
was the dog the whole time? Maybe the dogs were the friends we made along the way.
True.
We're talking about gotcha games today.
I thought we were going to be talking about malls. Like, we are kind of like called MallTalk, and we haven't yet talked about malls yet.
No,
Why
that's
would we
coming
talk
soon.
about malls?
That's actually true. This is episode 10, and we haven't talked about a mall.
actually,
One.
argument is
No, you have to do
no.
that in episode.
Episode 6, we kind of did. We kind of did in
If
episode
we
6.
ever make an episode talking about malls, that will be the last episode, and we will no longer make mall talks. That will be the
No, then
finale.
we have to change the name of the
Oh, no,
podcast.
No, no,
episode
it's,
to-
25,
it's,
you
it's,
do
got to
malls.
be like a special of some kind, like the
No,
1 year
it's got to
special.
be the finale. It's got to
It-
be the finale.
If it's the finale, then what are we rebranding to? Hunter's Really Cool Podcast? Is
Why
that what we're
why
gonna call it?
hunters?
Yeah,
think we
because
will.
that's what he's gonna offer.
Soda talk.
No, I was more thinking like when we were 80 something that would happen.
When we're all in our deathbeds, we're just,
Yeah,
oh,
we're
thank you
just
for
like-
watching Flatline. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's the plan. We talk about malls towards the end, so if you stick around with us, you're a real one.
No, but
Alright.
like by that point, malls won't exist anymore.
That
We'll
means
make our
we get-
own.
No, that means we get to tell people the story of malls.
And this is how we became the greatest mall.
My Mall
This.
Academia.
No, I was literally about to say that.
Okay, let's read this off. A gacha game is a video game that implements the gachapon machine-style mechanics similar to loot boxes. Gacha games entice players to spend in-game currency to receive a random in-game item.
This actually relates
Effectively,
to our
we're
last-
gambling here.
Have you heard of the Crankakai?
We're googling.
Hunter,
this
we already
now.
did the Gacha episode. Fuck off.
I know.
Oh, I have heard of this. Yeah, this was in the cutscene for the first game.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it here.
What do you mean? Hold on, no, I'm getting my DS. You guys continue talking about it. I'm getting my DS just to show.
Should we tell Kush that he can use the Crankakai more than once?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that Kush actually has the game installed.
I'm just saying.
Okay, I honestly,
Boom.
And he has it installed legally.
Yeah, extremely legally.
extremely legally.
I don't really understand how this game
Nintendo-
works entirely, but I like it. So
Okay, though.
I like the game.
Kush
Okay,
not
Hunter,
understanding
we can call off the assassin. We sent to Kush's house.
Yeah.
Casey said he didn't like.
You
the
sent
pouch.
that to my old address, by the way. The tenant's dead.
Oh yeah.
Damn, I can't believe your new tenant didn't like your watch.
Yeah,
crazy.
they did not Gara Po. Anyways, let's talk about gachas now.
Hell
Alright,
yeah.
we'll let Lalit take this lead, because Lalit is Hunter now. I am now Lalit.
Sure. Okay. I guess go ahead, I guess.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
I see. This is the problem of you just saying, "All right, put it off to this person" with no context. You put it off to the person, and they have no idea what the fuck to talk about.
Okay. So, what gacha games are you familiar with in this list?
Okay, I'm fucking pissed. This list doesn't have my gotcha game. I'm fucking mad. I'm fucking mad.
Wait.
I'm
This
pissed.
says, oh my gosh.
Oh wait, they don't have GBF on here.
No, they don't got fucking GBF.
Is
Oh,
reverse
it's probably because it's
1999?
only-
Is that like a?
Yeah, there's only Japanese
Is that like
games.
trying to stop
This?
2000 from hitting? Like, what if it actually all did collapse when it hit a 2?
Oh, yeah,
Are you just trying to like? You're pretty much saying this is like Y2K before Y2K.
Yeah, this is Y2K.
But games
Okay.
I do recognize Genshin, I recognize Honkai,
Genshin.
I recognize Zenless Zone, I
I got
recognize
so
Blue
many
Archive,
fucking ads.
I recognize Azure Lane, Dragon Ball Legends, Dragon Ball, just all of the Dragon Balls.
The
I
fact that the
recognize
fucking
Final
Dragon Ball
Fantasies.
ones are here and not fucking
Limbus
Granblue,
Company,
like, tilts me.
Honkai Impact Third,
Camilla, have
Guardian
you heard
Tales,
of-
Fate Grand Order, AFK Journey, Cookie Run, and I guess kind of another Eden.
I understand that Grand Blue is like a bigger gotcha game, but have you heard of Dragon Ball before?
Yeah, but like, who the fuck cares what the gacha does?
True.
When people talk about Dragon Ball, like they're mostly talking about the show. Like things like Grand Blue, like FGO, like those are primarily gacha games.
Wait, actually, was Fate on there?
Yeah,
It
no,
was
yeah.
on there. Okay.
Fate Grand Order.
All right.
Grand
So
Blue
this
Fantasy,
is
my beloved.
the I know Camilla loves Grand Blue Fantasy.
That's
I'm pretty
my
sure
gacha
Hunter
game.
got into Grand Blue Fantasy for a little bit. In terms of like gotcha games, I feel like most people I don't understand the appeal of like digital gotcha games, because for me, I like the loot box mechanic when it's physical things like little Gara dude. I like my Pokemon cards on the back of my laptop. I have these Five Nights at Freddy's stickers.
I
It's
definitely
like-
get the
I
sentiment
like
because like
those.
I'm definitely someone who likes things like physical over digital.
Yeah.
I think the thing about like gotchas themselves is that they kind of like, again, primarily like appeal to like collectors, as well as like
I am a
general
collector.
kind of like people who kind of like the style of JRPG stories and maybe like want to play something on the go and don't really want
Uh-huh.
to spend money.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like all gotchas get you is like, oh, I'll just play this free to play. It's like, at least for like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like no one goes into a like, oh, I am looking for a game to spend thousands on.
Yeah, of course.
No,
And then
it-
they get introduced to like Honkai or Genshin, and then they lose a bunch of money.
then they're playing
I think
Yu-Gi-Oh
the thing
long
is,
enough,
the
and then
people
they're like,
who are going
shit,
to
I need
play-
the good cards, and then they spend thousands, and then they don't have any of the good cards still, and they gotta spend thousands more, all to get Blue Eyes, and then they found out the card that they liked wasn't competitive anymore.
Yeah, that's honestly that's how it goes for like kind of for like Magic the Gathering too.
I mean, there's
And
also, kind of
also for,
gotcha games even as well. Then like, as much as I hate to admit it, like
Yeah.
power creep is
Yes.
very real.
That's because
Yeah.
they want you to get the new ones, so that they'll hope you'll spend money. It's a marketing tactic.
But it is also by the type of player.
That's
The-
true. It is very much like according to the player, but obviously like these big money guys know, hey, this player want this thing. We make them spend money for a better thing, but they still want the old thing, so they still spend old money.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't have a problem with it, because I think you go into it knowing what you're getting into, so I think
Yeah,
that's
of course.
perfectly fine. I'm just more saying, like, there's a reason they're free to play. It's because the goal is to get you to eventually want to spend money on the game. But to do that, they also have to make a game that's enjoyable outside of. Example, I'll bring up Dragon Ball Legends. Is it has the gotcha element, but there's a story. There's like a little fighting. Not little, but there's fighting stuff, and there's advantages to getting other characters, and maybe you just fucking hate Goku and you really want to get Vegeta.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, like
Yeah.
the whole thing about gotchas, like they're not just about the gotcha. They're about like other parts of the game, and then like, hey, cool, get characters alongside that, or like get characters like help you play the game. And I feel like that's also like something like a lot of like kind of why there's a lot of gotchas based on like existing properties is because those games kind of rely a little bit more on just, oh, you like this character, get this character. Whereas I feel like a lot of like the more like independent gotchas are much more into like the gameplay and the story games, like Azure Lane or Grand Blue, where it's like they
Even
don't
Genshin
have like tie-in media. I generally find those ones to kind of be the higher quality ones, because those it also feels like they're less scared to like actually create new units, rather than
Yeah,
just
of
make the
course.
50th Goku alt in a row.
Yeah, and also that also goes for like Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. It's like that's already building off of Final Fantasy VII, which is like one of the most popular RPGs of all time, and they're building it upon these characters that people have already grown to love. You've grown to love fucking Barrett, Cloud, Aerith,
Usopp.
Tifa, Sephiroth. Usopp?
Usopp, yeah.
That's one
go,
of these,
Usopp.
you dumbass. That's fucking. You're talking about. Fuck. Let me get to the page. You're talking about. Let's get Usopp. Where's Usopp?
I don't know why I fucking love just Usopp in Final Fantasy VII Gacha.
Usopp. That's Whitebeard. Where's Usopp?
Be like, I don't know, generally just like a thing where like I feel like a lot of like the tie-in gotchas quote unquote, are like a lot lower quality than like the actual, than like a lot of the more like independent gachas, because they actually kind of have to rely, because like they don't get to rely on like brand recognition and have to like build up characters and stories like themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which honestly, like, which is kind of why like I respect those a little more, and I've never really leaned as much towards those tie-in ones. Like the only one I ever really played was like the Tawaru gacha, because no one fucking knows what Tawaru is. And even then, it was like pretty low on my list. Like I preferred like, because at the time I was playing other gachas like Azure Lane, Princess Connect Redive, my Lord and Savior Grand Blue Fantasy.
I actually, out of the gacha games I play, my favorites are things like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, as in the end, at their core, they are just bringing the engine of Yu-Gi-Oh! Into a more accessible format, where I don't have to pay for the cards in real life, and I can play against people a lot easier. And in Duel Links, they add things like fun little side stories that are based on
What's happening,
anime.
Kush?
Is
I'm
Kush
out of
having an
focus.
article?
Keep talking. I'm out of focus, and I'm trying to get back in focus.
But like
Okay,
focus,
it's
Kush,
still
focus.
like Duel Links
Can
is
you
still
let me
like
finish?
is still like relying on a pre-existing IP.
And
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying that like generally, like Duel Links I feel like is a little different because due to the way how it's based less on the anime and more on like the existing card game, so it's more akin to like the Pokemon TCG.
Yeah.
Like the
like
more
to
like
finish it.
it's like yeah, like it is a gacha, but it's like I guess like the more like traditional gachas, if it makes
Real-
sense.
I mean, I'd actually argue the more traditional gachas are physical.
No, because
Well,
Gacha
we're kind of
was
referring
from-
to gacha in the sense of the
Yeah, 'cause
games. So
Gacha is more in the sense of like a video game.
like yeah,
I
like
guess, or
yes,
at least
they're
for what we're
yes, they're the
discussing at the
gachapon
moment.
machines, but in this context, we're talking more about the games.
Yeah, but now to finish my point I was making. Yeah, so you get like they'll give you stories that sometimes will have anime based, sometimes will be extensions on the anime or manga that aren't canon, but just fun stories. There are plenty of characters you can play as. You can play as Yugi all the way up to Uemu, I think his name is.
Who's Yumo?
He's the new Go Rush protagonist.
Oh. Okay.
He's an alien.
Oh.
I learned that. I don't know, but I really like him. One of his Duel Links also has you can do little taunts or quotes or something. Like Yugi will be like, "Oh, this will be a good card game." One of Yua moves is just I beam laser blast.
This will be a good card game. I speak English. I know this language well. This will be a good card game.
Actually, that's a great question. So, how did Atem, or Yami Yugi, ancient Egyptian pharaoh, so effectively learn Japanese?
I think they just
Godlike
share one
powers.
interest.
How did we go from talking
I-
about gacha games to fucking Yu-Gi-Oh?
Because we'd started to disagree with Hunter and he was upset.
No. I just wanted-
That's my bad. That's my bad.
Dragon Ball Legends, I think, has some fun fighting gameplay, but in the end, I think Dragon Ball Legends is good if you don't want to spend like the $70 on Sparking Zero or anything like that. If you just want like a basic fighting game with the characters you like, I think Legends is that with the mixed in you can summon for characters, but there are also free to play elements.
Well, like obviously every gacha is free to play, but I'm just saying like generally the ones based on existing IPs are typically like lower quality than the independent, or like because they don't really have to try as hard. Like you
Sorry,
mentioned, like
I'm
the
very
stories, like
happy I
oh
got
they
back
either
in
have
focus.
like stories like with Yu-Gi-Oh! And you mentioned like oh they're based on like the anime or like a spin-off of anime plots. That's because it has an anime to pull from. Other gachas, like my favorite poster, like Grand Blue or Genshin, those have to be completely unique in their stories. They have to come up with things that are completely new and unique, and they have to like rely on like interesting characters and like character designs, and can't just take from what's already been made.
I
Yeah,
mean,
of course.
I can see that, but I also like getting little bonus stories to characters I already know and like.
I'm not saying you shouldn't like it. I'm just saying like generally those types of gachas are of a lower quality.
Well,
No,
here's the thing. The ones I'm talking about actually are good quality. I don't know about other ones, but I literally pay like 3 or 4. There's this one Naruto gacha I played for a bit. It fucking sucked.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I was thinking when I thought like pre-established. I was thinking of the Naruto one, and I was like, oh my god, this game is so bad.
but
Well, I
like
mean,
the
just
ones.
what I mean is like even like comparing even like the decent ones typically don't hold a candle to like the like independent gachas. Like no one talks about. I feel like no one talks about the Dragon Ball gacha as much as like gacha fans talk about Azure Lane or Arc Knights or Genshin or anything like that.
Or-
Simply because those stories are just retellings of existing stuff rather than completely new and unique content.
Actually,
Well,
it
that's
is.
because it's just generally like targeted towards actual gacha fans and not gacha fans who really like Dragon Ball or gacha fans who really like Naruto or gacha fans who really like water bottles. I don't know
Yeah,
why I
that's
said
kinda-
water
that's-
bottle. There's just a water
Yeah,
bottle
that's
on
I
my
kinda
can't
the
desk.
point
speak
that
on
I'm trying to
Joking
get
Battle,
at.
but like Dragon Ball Legends actually, like it's not my
Hunter,
favorite
I'm not
thing.
saying that they're bad games. I'm just saying that they're of lower
No,
quality.
but then
than-
you bring up your point, and I'm bringing up a point on why you're wrong.
Wait, okay, so no. The thing is, Camilla isn't wrong because it's a general statement. It's not saying that every single game, like, describing that is going to be bad. It's just that
No.
generally, two games that are going towards the concept of this is a pre-established, like, IP. And now we're going to take a spin on that into gacha rather than having just a plain gacha that has to pull itself up a little bit more since they don't have the pre-established IP, since as a result, they're probably going to have more people going towards it because they have more going for it other than just, this is a pre-established IP. Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
That's Luffy back there. You like that guy, don't you? Hey,
not
go
really.
play our game. God damn, I love Luffy. Gumu Gumu now. I think, Lalit, you were about to say something. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
I think another problem with like the IPs that already exist is when you play the gacha game, it's just a retelling of the same story with like little differences. Like there's this live gacha game, solo leveling. Like if
There's
you
a
see
soul level in
game-
gacha?
yeah, there's a
There's
solo
like a gacha
leveling.
for like every big franchise.
That's fair. That's actually that's
Yeah,
fair. I don't
like
know
when
what
you
I'm
look
questioning.
at like play the game, it's just a retelling of just like the manhwa, but like with a few like extra side stories. And I'm like, you're not making a new story. You're just using a old one and just putting it in a gacha form, which isn't as interesting as like Big Grand Order, my example, where it doesn't follow any timeline, but makes its own story, even if it has like an IP that already existed before that.
Yeah,
and they
for
take
sure.
a bit from it.
Vagrant or I kind of see as like a bit of like a special case because like it had a pre-existing IP, but when most people talk about Fate, they actually talk about the gacha. I feel a lot. So
Yeah,
That's
it's
true.
It's
yeah.
like it's one of the few cases where I think like it breaks the pre-existing IP rule because I'm pretty sure FGO has like brought its own characters in and like it has its own stories as well. It's not like a bunch of like the other like anime gachas like the Dragon Ball. Like I know you defending it, but like the Toru gacha, Naruto gacha, like pre where like their stories are just recaps
MallTalk
of the
gacha.
anime
Coming soon.
slash
yeah.
maybe like this one like random side story, like something a little bit different happens, but it's like, did anything really happen in the end?
I agree with that general sentiment, given like I think one example of it, while it's not a gacha, is Naruto Ninja Storm. Naruto Ninja Storm, like it takes like the pre-existing knowledge of the lore of Naruto, but then it adds new cutscenes to some things that were like not really fully explained in the anime or the manga, but then they go to the game and then it adds like just a little bit of depth, and a lot of people really like that. I honestly don't know why I said this as an arguing point. That's just something I wanted to bring up.
Fair enough.
Oh, another gotcha. I just want to talk about this real quick. Pokemon TCG Pocket.
October
That
30th.
comes out October 31st.
Actually, I think
Or
it's the
is it 30th?
Yeah, it's the
Hold
30th.
on. Let me check the App Store real quick. But TCG Pocket, personally, I don't understand the appeal. Because
I think-
to me, the cool part of opening a pack of Pokemon cards is that you have it physical, but then you're opening and you're like, it's effectively gambling. You're gambling for the card that you want. I made a whole video about that. Check in something. I'm sure I'll put it somewhere on screen because I love plugging my own shit. But essentially, for this here, I'll just bring this up. You'll have this, and effectively, am I out of focus again? Okay, I'm back in focus. Effectively, what that is you're opening Pokemon cards without the risk, which I get because it's digital. It makes sense that you want to get that experience, but I feel like if I'm gonna go into it, I'm not gonna feel fulfilled by that. It feels like I'm gonna go into the it. I guess it's because I'm not a huge fan. No, my apologies. I guess it's because I'm not a huge fan of gachas in general. I don't really like the thing of like, oh, get up in the morning, let me do my dailies real quick. All right, let's move on with the rest of my day. That feels like if I were to get into this, I feel like that's the cycle I would personally fall into. But again,
like kind of going off like what Hunter said with like the Yu-Gi-Oh gacha is like, or gacha, because it's like, I feel like the TCG game and like the Yu-Gi-Oh gachas aren't necessarily like gachas in the traditional because like gachas like it's like like you're pulling for things, etc., etc. But with those, it's like I see them more as digital adaptations of a pre-existing card game rather than their own gacha.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like they're the gacha, but like it's less like, oh hey, we have like a marketable gacha here, and more let's turn an existing card game digital.
Yeah, of course.
I will say with TCG Pocket, I actually, first off, I mean, those card packs are like $4 to $5, so I don't personally want to go for them too often, but I'm fine with just looking at the super cool shiny Palafin art online, because there's no way in hell I'm paying whatever it costs. Kush can search it up.
I think last time I checked it was like $30.
Oh, that's not that bad, actually. I was expecting to be...
I mean, for a single Pokemon card, it's... especially if you're not, like, a huge collector. It's a piece of cardboard.
Do you have to buy the cards on the online version also?
Sorry, I didn't fully catch that.
Do you have to buy these Pokemon cards online also?
No, you get 2 free packs every single day. But I'm sure they're going to do something like, if you want to open one more pack, then just pay 99 cents. Or watch this free ad. Or have premium packs, Well,
to my knowledge, there's a premium pass that gives you more pulls a day and a few other things. You could, like Austin John went over stuff he could since he went to an early thing. But 2 things special about TCG Pocket that I think are interesting is, 1, the super rare cards that are like you get to look inside the artwork.
Oh, the immersive art? That looks super cool.
I think that looks cool. And it also has the TCG battling system, or at least a modified version in it.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I actually might learn how to play it. I have no idea.
No, you're 100% right, because I think the majority of people who collect Pokemon cards don't know how to play the game. They're just like, oh, that's the Pokemon I like. Or I like collecting cards, and I also happen to like Pokemon. So I'm going to collect these cards. Like, that's why I collect Pokemon cards. I made a YouTube video about that. I don't know why I'm plugging it again, but I'm plugging it. Effectively, it's just fun. Like, to me, it's a very fun process. And I understand how, like, even in a digital sense, like, that could be fun.
I just got years ago.
Lalit, how's your day going, Lalit?
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
So years ago, when, like, I stopped collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! Physically and moved to just doing it digitally because I just got tired of buying something, then not getting something, and then you'd have to buy more things, and it felt like a rabbit hole that I really wasn't into. So
yeah.
And then the online version, I've played free to play. It's very easily free to play, but there is also it's very rare where it is, but every once in a while, like with Rush Duel, these people have these legend cards like Negate Attack and Widespread Ruin, and I just want to, holy shit. Yeah, I go for an attack, they have that, I'm like, oh, that's a good card, I want to get it. 950 gems, well, I don't have that because I already spent all of that.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of, the whole point of gachas is to, like, If you want to play
No
Gachas free to play,
shit.
like the whole point is to save.
No shit. I'm just, you know,
He's not good at saving.
no.
I think Gachas teach you a good lesson of saving.
Oh,
Oh,
I meant,
also-
Okay, let's don't act like they're trying to teach us something and more of just
Exactly.
a simple lesson of self-control. But
It's like,
I will
like,
say,
bringing
currently,
things back in to like more traditional gachas.
uh-huh.
No.
Sure.
Thing in response for the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh thing.
Oh.
go on.
It's about the thing about these games are, I used to play this game called Vanguard Card Fight. It was like a gacha game. There was like a gacha version and a physical version. It recently got deleted, like
Oh,
a few
what?
months back. So I don't have any of the cards that I have on the mobile version.
Oh, that's really...
And I'm like,
That's annoying.
if you think about it, they're like the Yu-Gi-Oh game and Pokemon game aren't gonna stay there like for all the time. The second
Yeah,
it
for
loses,
sure.
like many people, your things are gonna be gone eventually if you're playing online.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of an inevitability for like anything inherently digital. Like, as much as I love
Yeah.
it, the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV is going to shut down one day. And that's just
Yeah, I mean-
something you kind of have to live with in like a digital space.
Yeah.
Candy Crush is gonna shut down someday, probably. Who knows?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Candy
We
Crush.
got a lot of old people gunning
Yeah.
for that game.
Like,
I'm
my
gonna
mom
be
even
playing
plays
Candy
it.
Crush when I'm old. That is my retirement goal.
The suits of the universe are playing Candy Crush. They will keep it till their graves.
God's even playing it.
I mean, I will, but currently, this is just a message to no one that will hear it. Konami, in the Rush Duel format of Duel Links, for the love of God, limit Cyber Dragon.
I thought today was gonna be about gachas, not about fucking mobile online card games.
It is a gotcha.
I mean, it's a kind of... It's a gotcha. It's not
It's
a...
Gotcha in the technical sense.
I will say it's not like the traditional sense of a gotcha. I
Yeah,
mean,
but objectively.
to be fair, literally no gotcha game is the traditional gotcha. Wait, I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
you're just building a new sense of a gotcha, which isn't like a inherently a bad thing. Of course, it's
Actually,
not
the most
inherently a bad
accurate
thing.
gotcha in a game, I'd argue, is the Crank-a-Kai.
But in that case, then our cold open, a gumball machine is a gotcha.
Yeah, that was the point.
Someone has an alarm going off.
Can we
Well,
get?
that's a phone.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's a phone
someone has an
call.
alarm going off. They have responsibilities to get to.
What is your favorite like gotcha game story out of all of these? Like that something.
And
I haven't played.
I mean,
like,
literally out of all of these, the only one I played was like Genshin for like 2 hours. And I was like, the thing is, I actually really liked the combat of Genshin. I thought it was really fun. And this was like around the same time where it was just like people were talking about like this is Breath of the Wild knockoff. It was like, and then I got to playing it and I was like, no, this is extremely different than Breath of the Wild. It's actually like,
Yo,
Like-
we're talking about gacha games. Woo!
yeah, we're talking about gotcha games again.
We're trying to think about gacha games again.
Here's the thing, I'm gonna get a little controversial. I'm actually so mad at the people who are like slandering people who play Genshin Impact and being like, "Oh, you're a weird person." It's like, no, it's a fun video game that
Yeah.
I don't understand why people are being fucking slandered for just playing a video game they like.
That's
There's
literally
nothing
like-
wrong with the video game.
I mean, that's
I
literally
personally think it has a
everything.
lot of gameplay elements that are like inherently flawed, but that's less about the people playing it and more about just the mechanics and why.
Yeah,
I personally
exactly.
don't like it.
It's about
Yeah.
it's about the mechanic.
And like a lot of
And
people who
you don't
slander
slander
people,
you don't slander the person for a mechanic in the game. You slander the game.
Or even then, a
I'm
lot of people are,
totally
like,
chill with
slandering-
slandering the game.
and even then like a lot of people are like slandering like the people who like it based on just characters rather than actual like gameplay. Like they don't talk about how it's like a bad game in the sense of like it's mechanically flawed. They're just like, oh yeah, no, it's bad because
Anime character. Yucky anime character.
It's
Goddamn,
stinky.
I hate
women.
Goku, but I love What's something that you shouldn't like? Empty water bottles and putting it in the trash
Oh,
can
I was
and
gonna
the
say
recycle
peanut.
bin. You always put it in the recycle bin, and if you put it in the trash can, you are a flawed human.
I'm gonna get a water bottle. Wait.
Yeah, go get a water bottle. And if you put it in the trash can, I'm gonna lose it.
I think
fucking hate
another
it.
thing
In the
about
trash.
gacha games is they actually have like better
I despise
stories
every
than
last
normal
one of you.
games.
No, I actually completely agree that, like, the Genshin, not with despising every last one of you, but for the Genshin story,
I'm a
I feel like, generally speaking, it's pretty well fleshed out.
It's pretty
It's
well fleshed,
like-
especially if you consider the fact like they pulled a FNAF and like if you read the stuff in like external media, if you can like find it, it's actually
Yeah.
really fucking good. But then it's
Yeah.
also in external media, so it's really fucking hard to.
No, that's what actually I remember. I was watching because I was watching like a game theory about Genshin Impact, and I was like, "Huh, you know what? I was on a game theory like train,
Binge.
so I was like, let's watch this
Oh, was that
video,"
your
and I was like,
doom scroll last
"What the
night?
fuck? This is awesome!
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
and then
This,
and then it's
this
all
lore is really cool."
and then it's all hidden
So-
by like some like Chinese only like webcomic.
Right? It's like, wow, there was like a lot of thought put behind this.
And
Didn't
and or
Wendy's
it's like
try to
behind
do-
like limited events that run like once and never again.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part about Genshin's thing. They have one event, and they never rerun it.
They never rerun events. There's no kind of event viewer either.
No, I
Yeah.
think that's fair, honestly.
No, the problem is their other game, Star Rail.
Yeah, Honkai.
They actually have that, like where you can go to previous events where it actually has important story.
It's actually
But Genshin doesn't do that.
Mhm.
Which is
I haven't given Honkai either Impact Third or Star Rail a chance, but I've heard like only good things. Which
Yeah.
I've heard of a lot of good things, but it's also. Oh, sorry, I just realized I just interrupted you.
no, keep going.
I
think we're about to say
like
the same
also
thing.
really like that they're probably like objectively good games. I'm just
Yeah.
kind of done with like MiHoYo IPs at the moment.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
I do think it's like they are, even though it's like only a few games, the density of the games make it so they're kind of oversaturating the market.
You know, and it's also like typically like when it comes to most gachas, like even if you have like one studio producing multiple gacha games, they'll generally all be like very different. Like at least like aesthetically, because it's like you take a look like Cygames IPs. Grand Blue aesthetically looks very different from Uma Musume, Princess Connect Redive, it's Shadowverse. But then you look at Honkai games, and it's like you show me a character from like Star Rail, and like I can't tell if they're from Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero, or Genshin. Since I'm like
Yeah.
not really in the loop for those games.
Is Zenless Zone Zero MiHoYo?
Yep.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's MiHoYo. I
So
think
and it's also like MiHoYo has like 4 gachas on the market at the moment, because there's Honkai Third Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, and then Zenless Zone Zero. So it's just kind of like Zenless Zone Zero came out and was like, another MiHoYo gacha? Like, are y'all really gonna like split up your resources more?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I think the thing is, for like me, because I play like MiHoYo games, you can tell a clear difference because they take it in different times. One is like during modern times.
Yeah.
Like ZZZ, Zenless Zone Zero, is like they use more modern clothing, while
Mhm.
Star Rail has more like fancy, a bit more futuristic clothing.
And then
Fantasy.
and then Genshin's like
Yeah.
high fantasy.
a more, fantasy like past like 16th century like clothing.
Yeah.
More like, so you can tell the difference, but you could probably tell it's from the same studio
Mm-hmm.
because of how they look like.
I just kind of like at face value, they all kind of like look similar, especially like when they kind of just have like some like the more like prim and proper outfits on like the Genshin characters. It's like, okay, what is this? And it's
Yeah.
and there's also just like
You
a
know,
lot of like
in the end-
Genshin just kind of left a bit of a bad taste in my mouth, just like mechanically. So like I just don't really trust me. Like there's kind of lost my trust in me. Because I guess
Sure.
like I've talked like a lot about like how I don't like the mechanics of the game, but kind of like going a little more into it, something I kind of prioritize. So like one of the biggest things I kind of judge gacha games are the daily, are like the quote unquote dailies, where
Yeah.
there's 2 parts to what makes a good daily. either you can, it's the one Rick and Morty meme of like in and out 10-minute adventure, or you can play as much as you want. And Genshin didn't fulfill either of those. If you wanted to do your dailies, you had to spend like 30 minutes to an hour doing them. But then, if you actually wanted to do more, you couldn't play anymore because it felt like a lot of stuff was like resin locked, and like I don't know, just a lot of stuff felt resin locked. Like you kind of finish all your dailies and you almost kind of like run out of stuff. It's like, yeah, you can explore the world, but like, what if you do that too? What if you're like all explored? Like, what if you're all caught up? If you've like done all the story and like you still want to get like gems and stuff, it's like, okay, cool. Log in, do your dailies, but then it's like, okay, if I didn't want to do my dailies, I couldn't just in and out get them over with. But if I did want to like play the game, I'd run out of dailies, and it's like, oh, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And like a lot of like as great as like the side quests, where it's like, it just wasn't really enough to satiate me. Where you look at something like Granblue, where Granblue's dailies can kind of be done short, but most importantly with Granblue, you can play as much as you fucking want, which is why part of the reasons I love Granblue is because it is a gacha that doesn't really limit you in like stamina or anything. Like it has a built-in stamina system, but it's practically worthless because it gives you so many like stamina restoring items. And like there are daily quests, but for most of those, other people can host the daily quests, so you can run them as much as you want to farm out.
You know, in the end, a gacha is just about the friends we made along the way.
See, we were having like a really productive conversation, and Hunter wanted to make a joke after not talking for like 15 minutes.
No, that pretty
actually, since
I am correct though.
Since we kind of reached a breaking point, I want to ask, what the fuck is Limbus Company?
I actually know a little bit about Limbus Company.
Is that a train?
What is it? I don't get it.
There's three different parts of them. There's a gacha game as well as two like independent like visual novel games that are all separate. The gacha game is about like some kind of like dark spoopy company, I think.
The Limbus Company, if you will.
Like Holy Horror Mansion.
I haven't like played it too much myself, but it's basically just kind of think of like a kind of like dystopian, kind of like gacha game / visual novel.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, I'm looking at the screen for the four things that popped up. One of them was a YouTube video called "Why Are Most Gacha Games Terrible?"
That kind of.
I mean that kind of flows. I mean, I know I'm interrupting you here, Hunter. I'll let you go in a second. I feel like that kind of goes into like the most gacha games are anime tie-ins, aka they didn't really give a shit and are just reskinning Deku for the 10th time.
Yeah. Again, like you said before. Yeah. No, these four do look like almost exactly the same.
One of them's not even a MiHoYo game.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, that's not MiHoYo.
Oh yeah, Reverse 1999. It's a game I play. It's a gacha game.
So
but that does actually have a really good story.
Like I've heard like some.
Limbus Company. Click on that again. That looks like if instead of a Gryffindor, the Gryffindor logo was a train.
We're looking up Gryffindor.
I am fiddling with my pill container, and that's definitely gonna get picked up on mic. So
hell yeah! Wait, I'm pretty sure I turned on your noise suppression. Why is your echo cancellation off? Everyone's is on. Why is yours off? God damn it! Oh, okay. No, this is just kind of a funny joke that I wanted to. Clash Royale. Is this a gacha game?
No.
Yes.
Is Clash Royale a gacha game?
Yes. Arguably, Angry Birds.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Angry Birds Transformers.
It kind of is, but it basically isn't.
Yeah, no, Angry Birds Transformers is also a gacha.
Angry Birds is like a game you play when you're shitting.
I feel like that's every mobile game, though.
Yeah, that's every mobile game. That's like Pokemon Go. You play while shitting. Tetris, you play while shitting. Every single game on your phone, you play while shitting.
Kush is
like
just
all
walking.
of these games. I play these games while I'm shitting, and now I'm gonna be out of focus, and there's glare.
Like if you have
Kush
the
is
option
just
to
walking.
play a PC game over a mobile game, without any kind of strings attached,
Kush is just walking
play the
around
PC
campus shitting while he's playing Pokemon Go. It's-
I meant more so like flow, helix jump, subway like balloons.
you brought up Pokemon Go as a reference.
I don't want to be part of this conversation
That's fair.
anymore.
No, that's yeah.
Kush said he plays Pokemon Go while shitting. Pokemon Go is a game you do while walking. That is...
No. What if you're on campus? You're on campus. You go to the bathroom. You have nothing to do. You pull out your phone, and you're like, "Huh? Let's see what's around here." That's all you're doing.
I fucking hate it here.
But why?
Why the
You're
fuck
on the
did I
best
ever agree
podcast
to
ever
this podcast.
because
You know,
it's
if
fun
Camilla
and
hates
cool.
it so much, I say we elect Justin to be the new member of MallTalk.
I disagree. I
No,
like
I
having female
one of you are
representation on
gonna
the
die and I'm gonna
podcast.
take over. So,
Well, here's the thing. If we were going to replace any of us, we'd have to replace all of us because we're all going to die when the episode's done. Have we forgotten about this already? We're all going
Yeah.
to die.
So I should
No,
just
I
leave
will.
now so I can die before I get hurt even more.
No. We didn't do the outro yet. You see? We didn't do an outro.
This game blows.
Actually,
And you know-
is that going to... I'm actually
you
so
know,
down to
like,
make that our
honestly,
outro. This game
the Ga-
blows.
Gachas are
Just
about
referring
the
to every
frenzy-
Gacha game.
This game blows.
This game blows.
breaks book.
No, it's fine. The book's fine. It's
And,
just...
you know, in the end,
it's,
though,
it's One Piece.
I
love
was
One Piece.
right.
Goddamn.
Gacha games are about the friends we made along the way.
See, here's the
AKA
thing. Like,
the
I
attractive
made...
women you pulled along the way.
I was
And
more
men, if you're
thinking of
into that.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Thank you for watching. Actually, I like that as an outro. I like that.
Yeah, you know, like, can we just be done? Like, we've been recording for like an hour.
Yeah, we're about an hour. Thanks for watching. Catch us like in a week or two, probably.
Sure, we barely talked about gachas, but I'm really wondering for that.
No, we talked about gachas.
We
We talked
shit
about
ton
gachas. Yeah.
I love
I mean,
how
this
we barely
episode-
let Lalit talk, I feel. I'm done
Yeah,
realizing-
Lalit was our guest.
I think that's 10 times funnier that we got Lalit on and he did not talk much.
You know what? How about this? Lalit, do the outro for us.
this game sucks. Goodbye.
Okay, well, thank you for watching.